You think you're going to sleep, but these 8 foods are secretly keeping your brain and body awake all night. 8. Chocolate. It's often marketed as heart-healthy, rich in antioxidants, and even stress-relieving. But when eaten in the evening, chocolate is one of the most underestimated sleep disruptors out there. Whether it's a piece of dark chocolate after dinner or a few chocolate chips in dessert, the consequences can show up long after you've turned off the lights. The reason lies in 2 stimulants naturally present in chocolate: caffeine and theobromine. Caffeine is well known for promoting wakefulness, and even small amounts, like the 20 to 40 milligrams found in a typical square of dark chocolate, can delay melatonin production, the hormone your brain releases to help you fall asleep. If you're sensitive to caffeine, and especially if you're over 50, when caffeine metabolism begins to slow, that small indulgence can push back your sleep window by an hour or more. But the less obvious culprit is theobromine. This compound stimulates the heart and nervous system, elevating alertness and body temperature. Unlike caffeine, it stays in your system longer, up to 7 hours in some people. The result? Lighter, more fragmented sleep, and less time in the crucial deep sleep stages your body depends on for tissue repair, memory consolidation, and immune regulation. Even milk chocolate, often considered low in caffeine, can interfere with sleep. The sugar it contains spikes blood glucose, then drops it sharply later in the night, often leading to middle-of-the-night awakenings, increased heart rate, or even vivid dreams. The combination of stimulants and sugar makes chocolate a double-edged sword when it comes to nighttime rest. If you have a chocolate habit in the evening, try shifting it to the earlier part of the day, no later than 3 p.m. And if you're looking for a sleep-friendly sweet alternative, reach for a few slices of banana, which contain natural magnesium and tryptophan, or a small serving of tart cherry juice, known for its natural melatonin content. These not only satisfy sweet cravings, but actively support your sleep cycle. 7. Aged cheese and cured meats. They're staples of late-night snacks, wine pairings, and charcuterie boards, but aged cheeses and cured meats can do more than satisfy your palate. They can quietly ruin your night's sleep, especially when consumed in the hours before bed. What connects these 2 food groups is a naturally occurring compound called tyramine. Found in high levels in foods like cheddar, Parmesan, blue cheese, salami, pepperoni, bacon, and smoked meats, tyramine is a byproduct of aging and fermentation. When you eat it, tyramine stimulates the release of norepinephrine, a hormone and neurotransmitter that increases alertness and heart rate. Basically the opposite of what you want before sleep. For people who are sensitive, or those already dealing with high stress or anxiety, this stimulation can translate into difficulty falling asleep, shallow sleep, or frequent night wakings. One study published in Neuropsychopharmacology linked elevated tyramine intake to increased nighttime blood pressure and disruptions in REM sleep, the phase most critical for emotional processing and mental clarity. But tyramine isn't the only issue. These foods are also notoriously high in sodium and preservatives, which have their own effects on sleep. Excessive salt in the evening pulls water into your bloodstream, raising blood pressure and straining the kidneys. This can lead to more frequent urination overnight, increased thirst, and elevated cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. For older adults, whose kidneys naturally become less efficient with age, this added salt burden can mean multiple bathroom trips during the night and a disrupted sleep cycle that's harder to recover from. Sodium nitrate preservatives, common in cured meats, have also been linked to nighttime heart palpitations and increased inflammation, both of which affect sleep depth and continuity. 6. Tomatoes and tomato-based foods. They're a staple in everything from pasta sauces to healthy salads. But when it comes to bedtime, tomatoes can be deceptively disruptive. Even though they're packed with nutrients like lycopene, vitamin C, and potassium, their natural acidity and impact on digestion make them one of the most common culprits behind nighttime discomfort and, ultimately, poor sleep quality. The first issue is acidity. Tomatoes are highly acidic, which means they can trigger acid reflux or heartburn, especially when eaten in the evening. Lying down soon after consuming tomato sauce, salsa, or tomato-based soups increases the likelihood that stomach acid will flow back into the esophagus. The result? A burning sensation in the chest, throat irritation, or an unsettled stomach. symptoms that keep you awake or cause micro-awakenings that interrupt sleep cycles without you fully noticing. But it's not just reflux. Tomatoes are also rich in tyramine, the same compound found in aged cheese and cured meats. Tyramine stimulates the release of norepinephrine in the brain, which increases alertness and delays the natural release of melatonin. Eating tomatoes late in the day can leave you feeling mentally wired at a time your body should be winding down. In addition, tomatoes, especially in concentrated forms like tomato paste or sauce, contain natural sugars that can spike blood sugar when combined with carbohydrates. This blood sugar elevation, followed by a crash in the middle of the night, can contribute to restless sleep or that sudden 2 a.m. wake up that leaves you staring at the ceiling. If tomatoes are a regular part of your dinner, consider shifting them to your lunchtime meals. When your body is upright, digestion is more active, and melatonin production isn't yet ramping up. In the evening, replace tomato-based dishes with roasted vegetables like zucchini, carrots, or butternut squash. These options are easier on the stomach, lower in acid, and even support sleep thanks to their magnesium and slow-digesting carbohydrates. 5. Ice cream and high-sugar desserts. It's the classic nightcap. A bowl of ice cream on the couch, a slice of cake, or a handful of cookies to unwind before bed. But these sugar-laden treats do more than satisfy a craving. They can deeply interfere with your body's ability to sleep well, even if you don't feel the effects right away. The problem starts with blood sugar. When you eat high-sugar foods late at night, your blood glucose levels spike rapidly. In response, your pancreas releases insulin to bring those levels back down. That rapid rise and fall may not matter much during the day, but at night it throws off your circadian rhythm and increases the risk of nighttime wakefulness. Many people don't realize their 3 a.m. awakening is caused by the crash that follows that innocent scoop of vanilla. Even worse, the fat content in ice cream and similar desserts slows down digestion. When your body is trying to wind down for sleep, it's not designed to be actively digesting high-fat, high-sugar meals. This conflict keeps your digestive system overactive, making it harder for your body temperature to drop, an essential step in falling and staying asleep. And then there's the neurological impact. Sugar affects the brain by triggering the release of dopamine, a feel-good chemical that can overstimulate the nervous system. Over time, regular late-night sugar consumption has been linked to lighter sleep, shorter sleep duration, and reduced time spent in deep, restorative sleep stages. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that diets high in sugar and low in fiber were strongly associated with disrupted sleep architecture and more nighttime arousals. For older adults, the stakes are even higher. As insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age, blood sugar regulation becomes more fragile. This makes late-night sugar hits especially harmful to sleep, energy levels, and even metabolic health. 4. Spicy foods. Hot peppers, chili flakes, cayenne, curry, and spicy sauces may energize your palate, but they do the exact opposite of what your body needs to transition into deep, restorative sleep. Spicy foods are one of the most disruptive dietary choices you can make before bed, and their effects go far beyond a little heartburn. The first and most immediate issue is increased core body temperature. Capsaicin, the active component in chili peppers, triggers thermogenesis, your body's process of generating heat. That's helpful during the day when you need energy, but it's counterproductive at night. To fall asleep, your core temperature needs to drop slightly, which signals the brain to release melatonin. When you eat spicy food at night, this natural drop is delayed, keeping you alert longer and reducing your overall sleep quality. A study published in the International Journal of Psychophysiology found that consuming spicy meals at dinner led to reduced total sleep time, more time spent awake during the night, and lower percentages of slow-wave sleep, the deep stage critical for muscle repair and immune function. Participants also reported more vivid dreams and frequent awakenings. Spicy food can also increase the risk of acid reflux, particularly when you lie down shortly after eating. Capsaicin relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that prevents stomach acid from moving upward. For people who already have mild reflux or indigestion, this leads to burning sensations in the chest and throat, frequent swallowing, or a cough that emerges during the night. Some people also experience a spike in heart rate and night sweats after spicy meals. especially when combined with alcohol or caffeine. These effects are subtle but enough to disturb your body's ability to reach and stay in REM sleep, which is vital for mental and emotional processing. 3. Citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruits, and lemons may seem like a fresh, healthy choice at any time of day, but at night, they can interfere with your sleep more than you'd expect. While they're packed with vitamin C and immune-supportive antioxidants, citrus fruits are also high in acid and natural sugars, two factors that quietly undercut your ability to get restful, uninterrupted sleep. Citrus acidity is one of the most common dietary triggers for nighttime acid reflux. Even if you don't typically suffer from heartburn, the high acid content in oranges or grapefruit can irritate the lining of the stomach and esophagus. When you lie down, this acid is more likely to creep upward, leading to discomfort, throat irritation, or micro-awakenings that prevent deep sleep. But it's not just the acid. Citrus fruits contain fructose, a natural sugar that can still spike blood glucose levels, especially when eaten alone or after a high-carb meal. For sensitive individuals, including many older adults with reduced insulin sensitivity, this post-meal sugar surge is often followed by a crash. That crash can trigger a cortisol spike, the hormone associated with stress and alertness, which may wake you up in the middle of the night or cause restlessness during light sleep stages. Another often overlooked issue is the diuretic effect of citrus. Oranges and grapefruits have a high water content and naturally stimulate the kidneys. When consumed late in the evening, they increase the likelihood of nighttime urination, especially in older adults who already deal with overactive bladder or age-related changes in kidney function. More bathroom trips mean more fragmented sleep and less time spent in the vital deep and REM phases. If you're looking for a vitamin C boost at night, opt for low-acid alternatives like kiwi, which has been shown in sleep studies to improve sleep onset and duration due to its antioxidant and serotonin content. Bananas are another excellent alternative, low in acid, rich in magnesium and potassium, and naturally calming to the nervous system. Citrus isn't harmful on its own, but timing matters. Enjoy these fruits earlier in the day, when their energizing and digestive effects are beneficial, not disruptive. Save the evening hours for foods that support calm, balance blood sugar, and minimize stimulation. 2. Alcohol. A glass of wine, a cocktail, or a nightcap may feel like it helps you relax, but alcohol is one of the most deceptive sleep disruptors on this list. It might make you drowsy at first, but its effects on the brain and body during the night lead to shallow, fragmented sleep and reduced recovery, especially in adults over 40, whose liver function and hormonal balance begin to shift. Alcohol initially boosts GABA, a calming neurotransmitter that helps you unwind. That's why you might feel sleepy or sedated shortly after drinking. But as the alcohol is metabolized, usually just a few hours after consumption, your body begins to rebound with increased glutamate, a stimulating neurotransmitter. This rebound effect is often what causes people to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., feeling wide awake, anxious, or too hot. Even a moderate amount of alcohol, just 1 or 2 drinks, can reduce the amount of REM sleep you get during the first half of the night. REM is essential for mood regulation, memory consolidation, and mental restoration. Without it, you may feel emotionally off, unfocused, or foggy the next day, even if you slept for a full 8 hours. Alcohol also disrupts melatonin production. In fact, studies show that a single dose of alcohol taken in the evening can suppress melatonin by up to 20%, delaying sleep onset and reducing the quality of your circadian rhythm overall. Over time, this can shift your sleep-wake cycle and lead to long-term insomnia symptoms. Let's not forget its impact on body temperature and hydration. Alcohol dilates blood vessels, which initially causes heat loss, but then triggers a rebound rise in core temperature. Your body may respond with night sweats or hot flashes. At the same time, alcohol is a diuretic. It causes you to lose more fluids through urine, which increases the likelihood of waking during the night to use the bathroom. Dehydration also affects your muscles and can trigger cramps or restless legs during the night. 1. Protein bars and healthy energy snacks. You've probably seen them labeled as low sugar, high protein, or keto approved. But many so-called healthy bars and evening snack replacements contain hidden ingredients that act more like stimulants than sleep aids. Whether it's added caffeine, hidden sugars, synthetic vitamins, or artificial sweeteners, these snacks can quietly trigger a stress response in your body that delays or disrupts sleep. Let's start with sugar alcohols. Ingredients like erythritol, xylitol, and maltitol. While they don't spike blood sugar the way regular sugar does, they often cause gas, bloating, or digestive discomfort in the hours after eating, especially when consumed at rest. If your gut is working overtime during the night, your sleep will suffer. You may feel bloated, gassy, or wake up without knowing why. Then there's the issue of hidden caffeine. Some energy or focus bars include green tea extract, guarana, or yerba mate, all of which contain caffeine or similar stimulants. These aren't always listed as caffeine on the label. So many people unknowingly consume stimulating compounds within an hour or two of bedtime. Even high-protein bars without caffeine can be a problem if consumed too close to bed. While protein is essential for muscle repair, too much too late can strain digestion, especially if the bar contains casein or whey isolate, which can be heavy on the stomach. This prevents your body from entering deep sleep when digestion should be at its lowest and repair at its highest. And finally, consider the vitamin blends added to many functional snacks. High doses of B vitamins, particularly B6 and B12, are known to stimulate the nervous system. When taken at night, they can delay sleep onset or make your mind feel overly alert just when you're trying to relax.